Right, spring has finally arrived. It's the 4th of March and the daffodils have been out for a little bit. And if we just pan round, that leads into the garden and the garage, and then by the front door there you can see we have daffodils, and the magnolia is beginning to come out in its purple glory. There we are. So, thank goodness spring's arrived. Trump and Putin may be making a mess of the world, but the seasons still come round. So I'm going to do a bit of a walk round. I'll go through around the side. The wisteria, that's still dormant, but that will come out and that will be usually magnificent. The box hedges all around, they will need spraying, but I think that's late March, maybe April. The box caterpillars are very hungry, so I get my grandson to spray them usually. So anyway, without further ado, let's go through there and go around and see what's growing in the back garden. At the end of April, we have the Abbeydale Garden Club show, and we need to raise money to pay for speakers for the year. So it's quite important we have a successful plant sale. So some of what you'll see I'm doing is growing seedlings in the hope that they'll be big enough to sell at the end of April. Right, without further ado, let's go through. Right, so off there's Daisy the pussycat. So off through here, have a look what's happening around the side and then in the garden. There's little Daisy. Hello Daisy. She tends to follow me around the garden. Right, a bit like a dog I suppose. So for growing seedlings, we've got these little plastic greenhouses and they've got various seed trays. That's catmint. I'm not sure if anybody ever buys catmint, but the cats certainly like it. But then again, cats haven't got pockets for purses, have they? So a few more things. Awful lot of agapanthus, but they take ages to grow. That's dianthus. I think they should be fine. They're pinks, I think is the common name for them. And then we've got various things in all kind of sweet William Bidens. A lot of these marigold type things, candendulas, there. A lot of them. I don't know if they'll sell. We'll find out. So then we've got this huge rhododendron, which my children and grandchildren moved here. It's in a great big pot, very heavy, but that's going to be glorious, I think, a pinky flower. Then if I turn round, we've got a rosemary there, rosemary for remembrance. Then I'm growing up one little wisteria there, and then as I said, if I just go back actually, going round the corner, that's wisteria. Oh hang on, there's Daisy again. There's Daisy, she's following me around. Yeah, I'll just have a quick look at the front again. The wisteria is usually pretty good. Let's have a look. So that's the magnolia, that's the daffodils at the front, and then up the root is there at the corner, and then you can see the wisteria, which is growing along and then round the side. Right, so that's it. Oh, there's Daisy following me around everywhere. There's Daisy. Hello Daisy. Right, she's got a very big fluffy tail. Right, so back here, the caravan which you'll see I'm selling to Janine's podiatrist. It's a lovely caravan. I managed to cut the side with a Ginster's truck, which wasn't there when I parked. I'm not very good at pulling things. So that caravan's going. A bit sad. It's a lovely thing, but I think me and Janina past our caravanning days. Then, they say we've got lots of box. I think some of this box may have to come out when we move the caravan. Next weekend it's going to be sold. At the moment there's no sign of the naughty caterpillars, but they will arrive. So, as I say, if I go down here, we've got Daisy leading the way. Come on, Daisy, mind out. And we're going down to, over there is Stephen's Pond, behind the bricks. We've got some wallflowers here, and then a conifer there. Things green. I mean, the daffodils are up, but it's encouraging. Spring will arrive. I think if I go back towards the house, perhaps, as you see, I'm trying to grow roses up to Janine's bedroom. That's Janine's bedroom up there, and the octagonal. Well, anyway, it's that room there, and then on either side there, and the other sort of pillar, I'm trying to grow roses up, so she'll have roses outside her window. I think this one's almost there, actually. It's really big. They really climb up tall, so that's almost to that window, that rose, doing well. The plants, I've moved quite a lot of the plants because we've got to try and fit the caravan around that side entrance. But there's hydrangeas and things. But then in the winter I tend to bring the orange and the bananas and the lemons in, so I've taken them out. I hope we're past the frost, but that's definitely lemons. The onions, not the onions, the oranges got rather affected. They're in the conservatory, which isn't heated in the winter, and they got frost damage, but I think it'll recover. It's a fairly tough thing. Then we've got lots more trays of little things. So if we go over here, what have we got? Quite a lot of cosmos. That's cosmos at the top. Just got its first two little seedling leaves. Stocks, cosmos. Whoops. Sorry, that was stocks, cosmos. More cosmos. I think that's more cosmos. No, that'll be like the calendulas in that one. Onions. Stephen's trying to grow a giant onion. And then we've got a few more things on the ground. And then in the conservatory, we've got quite a lot more. I did try the heated mats. I think they do get things along, but the seeds will come in their own time. The problem is the plant sale is at the end of August, which is quite early for plants, so things are going to be quite little. Sorry. This is a little plastic greenhouse. Bought it on Amazon. Christo. I think it's worth having, actually. Janine always wanted me to have a greenhouse, and I stubbornly refused, but this is okay because it hasn't got glass panes to crack when children and grandchildren are playing football, and I think it does help. So what do we got there? More. Oh, those are cucumbers, those ones. That's with Stephen. Stephen does veg, I do flowers. So as I say, more trays of things. That's more cosmos. Yeah, a lot of cosmos. I like cosmos, so I'm hoping we'll have lots of them to sell. There's Daisy wandering around. So here, now this camellia I planted 15 years ago. I mean, most plants don't like moving, so it stayed here. But it's really quite nice. It almost looks like a rose, but obviously it's before. And it comes out early, and it cheers one up a bit. I'm not sure what this plant is. My mum suggested I get it, which I did. And then we've got honeysuckle growing there. A lot of, well, that's a rose. Whoops, sorry, stepping in things. That's a rose. So the roses are putting on the first leaves. I think I do get quite a lot of black spot, so I think you're meant to take off the old leaves because they didn't have black spot on them, and the new ones, you hope they're okay. Haven't sprayed them any. More daffodils. Oh, good Lord. Daisy's doing a jump. Right. So a lot of hyacinths. I used to get hyacinths every winter and put them in those bowls, and then when they were done, I plant them out. Oh, Daisy's chasing something. I'm not sure what she's chasing. That I think is a tree peony. Then this big cotoneaster. Still got berries on. Normally the birds have eaten it all, so it must have been a fairly mild winter for the birds. But it's still got some berries on it. Then another rose. So yeah, things are coming on. I think that's a hydrangea there. Whoops, where's me? That's a hydrangea, I think. So a hydrangea there. We've got aquiledias, which I used to not sure what they were. My mum liked aquiledias. They just self-seed, but they give a bit of colour. I think that's an aquilegia. Sort of, I don't know, clover-shaped sort of plants. I think those are aquilegias. And various things springing up. I'm not very good at identifying plants. As a retired GP, I'm better at diagnosing illnesses, perhaps. There are fish in the pond. I tend to feed them. And there we are. Another box. I got had one of those biological traps, which they do work. They have pheromones in, and the box moths really go for them. But we have such a lot of box that it's not really practical. If you just had the one bush, I think they're fine. Then I'm rather looking forward to this hibiscus coming out. This here is a hibiscus. It's beginning to get. It was crowded out by other plants I had in front of it, but I've built this. Well, not built. Sorry, I've seeded grass here because this is a mulberry tree, and I wanted my great grandchildren to be able to run around the mulberry tree, and so you need some grass under it in case they fall over, as small children can do. So I think there's enough room to run around. I have taken one of my grandchildren round it, but that was me carrying it. Now behind is the forsythia, which again I like in the spring. It cheers you up a little bit. There is another camellia, I think, at the back there. There's a camellia. Right, now over to the vegetable plot. Now it's been so wet. This is the first really nice day we've had in ages. So this bit here is meant to be a vegetable plot. So if you look down there, it's sort of mud, but it was water yesterday. So this little bit here is meant to be the vegetable plot. Again, I hope to get my grandchildren to rotivate it. I know one shouldn't really rotivate, but it's such heavy clay. I think it does need churning up. I've imported a fair bit of soil, and I'll probably do so again. But that's meant to be vegetables. Now, you can see where we moved. The caravan had sat here for a year or so, and you can see things can't grow without light. So that's a big patch where the caravan did sit. But as I say, we've moved it nearer the house, and then we have to get it. We have to get it round through the side of the house. It'll be a bit of a squeeze. Some of the box hedge may have to go, but it's got to go around the side there. That happens this weekend, all being well. So that's whoops. That's a bit more of the vegetable plot. And then that's where I have my dustbins. Just coming back. And I think that'll just about do it. That's Stephen's pond, and there are fish in it. I might just feed the fish. I'll just put this down and go and get some feed. Right, you might be able to see the fish come up and feed. Anyway, it's meant to be about the garden, not about the fish. So there we are. So I think that's about it, really. Garden in early March. We're going to have the plant sale at the end of April, so it's all hands to the pump. I think I'm putting out leaflets, I think, to try and encourage people, but that won't be till April. And we usually have lots of people because it's a nice village hall, plenty of room, and all the club members are always very helpful. We're hoping to get new members because, well, I'm 76 and I'm about the average age of the club membership. We need a lot of younger members. I'm sure there will be people that like gardening, and we have talks every month, or most months anyway, and Christmas party, and then we have a party in this garden usually in the summer. So I have to have it not too embarrassing. Oh, that tree there, that's the conker tree, horse chestnut that Mark planted when he was about 3, and that's grown pretty well. One of my great-grandchildren has got a conker that in a pot that has, I think, started to grow, but I'm not sure where that is. Let's go and have a look. Let's have a look. Have we got a conker? Can't see it, but I'm sure it's somewhere around. No, that's a runner bean. Anyway, I'll perhaps take a picture of it for next month. I'll try and do a video every month. So, as I say, I think that's about it, really. The garden is sort of a hobby now that I'm fully retired. And looking after Janine, that's the main thing in the garden. That's the main thing in my life, is looking after Janine. So, I hope we all survive Trump and Putin, but Trump really does seem like an infant at time. I mean, I know he can bomb and blow people up, but you should think a bit longer term. I mean, the various things in life: never invade Russia and never iron your socks. I mean, there's just some rules, and I don't know. I think killing the Ayatollah, who I think was a very nasty person. I mean, people may have different views, but killed a lot of young Persians. So I don't mind that. But the trouble is, everybody there hates America and the West and all that sort of thing. So I can't see it being a short-term thing. I don't think the opposition in Persia, in Iran, is strong enough to remove the clerics. And I think we've got difficult times ahead. Going back to the Wall Street crash and all that sort of stuff. And Putin is just a twit, I think. You know, his invasion, anybody would admit it was a failure, but he doesn't accept that. He thinks we started it, but it's his troops that are in Ukraine, not the other way round. And I would just go for a ceasefire on the current line and try and make friends again rather than enemies, but what do I know? Anyway, cheers everybody. I'll try and do a video next month. That'll be getting a bit nearer the plant sale, and I'll probably be panicking a bit. Cheers everybody. Bye.